It's all covered in today's China Truths.
Today we bring you a story shaking Africa, the turmoil in Angola, where a wave of backlash against China's economic presence is erupting. What you're about to hear is a compilation of international news reports and objective analysis, aimed at helping you understand the causes, developments, and impacts of this event. Angola in turmoil. Streets erupt as anti-China fury reaches boiling point. Chaos is gripping Angola. Crowds are surging through the streets, smashing Chinese-owned shops, looting goods, and setting businesses ablaze. In the industrial zones, factory gates are chained shut, machines silenced. Entire neighborhoods are tense as chants demanding the Chinese leave now echo through the air. This is no ordinary protest. This is the most explosive anti-China uprising Africa has witnessed in years. This wave of unrest didn't appear overnight. It's the result of years of simmering tension. For over 2 decades, Angola was considered one of China's strongest partners in Africa. Chinese money built highways, ports, and housing blocks. Oil for loans deals pumped billions into government coffers, and Chinese firms secured massive contracts in mining and construction. On the surface, the relationship looked like a success story, but beneath the promises of prosperity, frustration grew. Local workers accused Chinese companies of exploiting labor, underpaying wages, and pushing out local businesses. In cities, Chinese-owned stores dominated commercial hubs, leaving Angolan shopkeepers struggling to survive. In mining regions, locals spoke of dangerous working conditions and no chance for promotion. When global oil prices collapsed, Angola's economy spiraled. Its currency plunged, inflation soared, and unemployment hit historic highs. The COVID-19 pandemic only made things worse, stalling Chinese-funded projects and triggering layoffs. For many Angolans, Chinese buildings and warehouses became symbols of inequality and foreign dominance. Political voices joined the chorus of discontent, accusing the government of falling into a debt trap and allowing Chinese influence to overwhelm local interests. Social media amplified every street brawl, every labor dispute, every allegation of abuse by Chinese business owners, until resentment became part of the national mood. The spark came in mid-2024 when the government hiked fuel prices, sending transport and food costs soaring. What started as protests against the government quickly morphed into targeted anger toward Chinese businesses. By late July, demonstrations were no longer about fuel. They were about forcing the Chinese presence out of Angola. The unfolding crisis, looting, shutdowns, and an exodus. Within weeks, the unrest had spread far beyond Luanda. Chinese-run stores were ransacked in multiple cities. In Luanda's so-called Chinatown, shop windows lay shattered, shelves stripped bare, and the streets littered with broken glass and debris. Witnesses reported looters moving in coordinated groups, storming shops, emptying them in minutes, and disappearing before security forces arrived. Factories have been hit hard. Several Chinese-operated plants have shut down entirely, their workers evacuated under armed guard. Industrial facilities in Benguela and Huambo were overrun, vehicles overturned, warehouses set on fire, raw materials stolen. A textile plant in Benguela was left in ashes after guards abandoned their posts under threat from the crowd. What began as anger over fuel prices has evolved into a nationwide revolt against China's economic footprint in Angola, one that shows no sign of ending soon. Angola unrest deepens. Chinese businesses targeted. Tensions in Angola have intensified, with several mining and construction sites linked to Chinese companies attacked. In Huambo province, a Chinese-owned granite quarry was breached, equipment damaged, and workers threatened. Officials suspect some incidents were pre-planned, with possible insider cooperation. The toll is rising. At least 33 deaths and nearly 200 injuries have been reported. The Chinese embassy in Luanda has issued safety alerts, urging citizens to avoid public gatherings and secure property. Community leaders are moving families from high-risk areas to guarded compounds. Police have arrested over 500 people, but order remains fragile. In some areas, security forces have been accused of slow or inconsistent responses, fueling public frustration. Analysts highlight three main causes. 1. Economic pressure from fuel price hikes that pushed up transport and food costs, hitting low-income families hard. 2. Long-standing resentment toward Chinese economic influence, with criticism that investments have benefited foreign firms more than local workers. 3. Weak security, allowing coordinated attacks and potential insider involvement. Without addressing these underlying issues, experts warn that similar unrest could erupt again during future economic shocks.
It's all covered in today's China Truths.
I came to Shanghai looking for a job, but on my very first day, I couldn't even find a place to sleep indoors. I had to sleep on the streets. And I wasn't alone. There were so many people lying there, all food delivery riders fighting to survive. What's happening to Shanghai? The economy here feels weaker than many second or third-tier cities. In just the past 2 years, 2 to 3 million people have left. Empty shops are everywhere. Why are so many business owners running away? Is running a brick-and-mortar business really this hard now? I'm around a Jian place in Minhang district, just walking to show how bad things have gotten. Many shops are completely shut down. Some didn't even officially open before going bankrupt. It's truly terrifying. Is it really this difficult to find a stable job in Shanghai? I've been here 3 days and had 12 interviews, all for sales positions. Are other industries not hiring, or is sales the only role always in demand? This is Shanghai, the nation's top economic center. Yet malls are ghost towns. Entire sections are empty. Even KFC near Baoshan Wanda can't survive. Do you remember Shidu, near Dongchuan Road? The Usheng Mall there was once impossible to rent a shop in. Now most stores have closed and no one pays attention. The hustle and bustle have vanished. The malls I loved visiting are gone. My favorite bubble tea and snack shops are nowhere to be found. What happened? Is this really the most prosperous part of Shanghai? It's barely different from rural towns now. Rows of closed shops, run-down buildings. Zhong Road is plastered with for rent and for sale signs. This isn't the Bund, it feels like the countryside. The so-called 3 new districts, Dahongqiao, North Bund, Qiantan, are struggling too. Dahongqiao has 80% of its office space vacant. Many business parks are abandoned. The only mall there is nearly empty. Street-level shops are gone. Several had eateries in the basement of food court have shut down. The once packed Western-style food plaza now has empty storefronts. North Bund isn't what it was 3 years ago. When the city market opened, it was packed. You couldn't find a seat. Now it's silent and deserted. Outside, it's even worse. A massive food hall left abandoned with equipment still inside, losing an estimated 10 million yuan. The small mall next to Taikoo Li is nearly empty. Residential street shops can't find tenants. The state of every industry in Shanghai now. You wouldn't believe it. Building materials sellers suffer, renovators suffer, wholesalers suffer, beauty salons suffer. Even real estate agents are crying. Loan officers can't move products. 30-month repayments plans won't sell. Didi drivers cry, food delivery riders cry, even foot massage parlor owners cry. No one is making money. Consumption has dropped sharply. People don't want to spend. Tell me, is there any industry in Shanghai that isn't crying? China's economy is spiraling downward, and nowhere is the collapse more visible than in Shanghai. The Great Depression here isn't just a statistic. It's a harsh reality you can see with your own eyes. Foreign companies are fleeing by the thousands. Migrant workers? They've vanished. Streets once packed with shops now bear shuttered windows and faded signs. Jobs have become ghosts, and unemployment is a shadow looming everywhere. Neighborhoods that used to buzz with life are now empty shells. Locals say we're rewinding the clock, back to the 1990s. Incomes are sinking, unemployment climbing, and stores can't stay open. The entire city is drowning in recession. Near the National Exhibition Center, A once thriving mall stands in eerie silence. Beautifully designed corridors connect its empty sections, but the crowds have disappeared. Where has everyone gone? What hope is left? I have no answers. My name is Ying. I came to Shanghai to find work, but nearly a month and 15 interviews later, I'm exhausted. Each interview meant a 2-hour commute, only to be told, "We'll contact you," after 5 or 10 minutes. The massive Tesco that once served everyday shoppers became China Resources' vanguard, then closed too. No trace remains of the mall. Even the banks and KFC inside have vanished. Time has wiped out not only people, but entire businesses. It's heartbreaking. Shanghai isn't just losing workers, it's losing locals too. Since early this year, many families have emigrated. Our domestic helper agency used to serve countless households. But since February, a dozen helpers have quit. Not fired, but choosing to leave the country themselves. When I arrived, I found no job, no home, only a piece of cardboard on which to sleep. My first night was spent on the sidewalk with over a dozen others, mostly delivery drivers priced out of rent. This is Shanghai, China's richest city, yet what I saw chilled me to the bone. Everywhere, shops are shuttered, signs peeling, malls hollow and silent. 2 to 3 million people have left Shanghai in just 2 years. Even KFC couldn't survive. At a Jian Place mall in Minhang district, the reality was worse than I imagined. Entire floors abandoned. In 3 days, I attended 12 interviews, all sales jobs. Is sales the only thing left here? I thought about Oshang Mall near Dongshuan Road, once impossible to rent in, now nearly empty. My favorite milk tea and snack shops? Gone. Zhang Road, once crowded, now hosts only a trickle of pedestrians and for lease signs. This isn't Shanghai anymore. It feels like a forgotten small town. What happened to the 3 new districts? The Hongqiao, Beihongqiao, and Qiantan. The Hongqiao's office vacancy rate is 80%. Beihongqiao, once bustling, now a ghost town. Restaurants closed overnight, kitchens worth millions abandoned. From construction workers and beauty salons to real estate agents and ride-hailing drivers, no one is making money. The city is sliding fast. Incomes falling, unemployment soaring. Foreign companies are pulling out. Migrant workers are leaving. Even longtime Shanghai locals are emigrating. This isn't just a slowdown. It's a collapse. Near the National Exhibition and Convention Center, the once glorious mall still gleams on the outside, but inside there's only silence. Where has everyone gone? Ying's words echo in my mind. 15 interviews in a month, 2-hour trips for each, 10 minutes, then we'll contact you. Familiar landmarks vanished too. Tesco was replaced by China Resources Vanguard, which closed. Banks, KFC, all gone. Not just people, but the businesses that built this city have been wiped out. Shanghai, once the shining symbol of China's rise, now lies hollow. Jobs have vanished, and those who can leave already have. Chinese people have barely any money left in their pockets. And shopping? That's a luxury few can afford anymore. Every purchase is weighed carefully. One clothing store owner on the bustling pedestrian street in Pudong's Zhangjiang area summed it up bluntly. The economy is dead, not just here, but across all of Shanghai. A netizen recalled how crowded Zhangjiang once was. I used to take the bus here, and the pedestrian street was packed with people, non-stop hustle and bustle. Another pointed to the pandemic as the root cause, hitting the economy hard and pushing factories to relocate. Now, a growing divide is pushing outsiders away. Businesses that once thrived on customers from other regions are drying up. A local shopkeeper I talked to said small businesses, grocery stores, markets, are sinking deeper every year. Since last year, many barely scrape by, making little to no profit. Factory moves are a big part of the problem. Jobs in Shanghai? It's bad, really bad. He told me about a team leader from his old company, a Tsinghua graduate, top of his class, earning millions in his 20s, who lost his job when the company collapsed and only just recently found new work. Even Tsinghua grads are struggling. Another friend, a master's graduate from Shanghai University of Finance and Economics with CPA and legal licenses, used to pick and choose jobs before 2021. But after being laid off in 2023, he only landed a position at a parent company late that year. The job market is brutal. I can't sleep at night thinking about this. Just last night, I met a shop manager in Pudong outside a store. He said his boss had 3 restaurants but closed 2 this year. One was newly renovated with over RMB 300,000 spent, yet it lost money every day and had to shut down. Now just renting a place costs over RMB 300,000 a year, more than RMB 1,000 daily rent, but daily revenue is only a few thousand. It's summer, the crucial season for barbecue businesses, but no customers are coming. Without summer profits, the whole year is lost. The boss is desperate but helpless. Streets are empty, delivery orders are few. He doesn't know if he can continue next month. If not, he'll have to go back to his hometown and stay there for a while. Everyone's hurting here, no one is untouched, no one can escape this crisis. Ordinary people have no money and dare not spend. Who still goes out late for supper like before? Years ago, supper meant karaoke, spas, foot baths. Now hardly anyone dares to step out. The atmosphere forces people to stay home, isolate themselves. Fear and uncertainty hang heavy in the air. Dreams are put on hold, and hope feels more fragile than ever. This is not just an economic downturn, it's a test of resilience, a silent struggle unfolding behind closed doors. Comments online say Shanghai, the so-called economic powerhouse of China, is sinking into a depression worse than anything since wartime. If Shanghai looks like this, imagine the state of the country's entire economy. People are losing faith, businesses are collapsing, and the once vibrant cityscape is fading into silence. The ripple effects are spreading far beyond the city's borders, casting a shadow over the nation's future. This isn't just a downturn, but rather an urgent warning sign. What do you think about all this? Is Shanghai's crisis the beginning of a collapse about to unfold across China? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Please leave a comment below and join the conversation. Your voice matters to us. Together, we can better understand what's really happening.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.